ועשית ככל אשר יורוך. The Torah starts off saying in our parasha, כי יפלא ממך דבר. You don't know something. יפלא means מכוסה, Rashi says. Something that's not known to you. כי יפלא ממך דבר, בין דם לדם, דבר למשפט, בין דם לדם, בין דין לדין, בין נגע לנגע, דיבר ריבות בשעריך. Some kind of question in halacha, in Torah, that you don't know how to approach it. What should you do? So it says over there, ועלית אל הכהנים, הלוויים, ולשופטים אשר יהיו בימים ההם. You go to the rabbis. You go to ask. Back then it was mostly the Kohanim, the Levim, but you go to ask the rabbis. Once you ask the rabbis, you must follow what they tell you. ועשית ככל אשר יורוך. You must do as they say. There's a mitzvah taseh min Torah. It's a positive commandment to listen to Chachamim and follow their instructions of the halacha. Not only that, the Torah warns you with a love, with a negative commandment. לא תסור מכל אשר יורוך לך ימין ושמאל. You're not allowed to disobey and not allowed to go to the right or to the left. Chachamim want to know, and Rashi points it out, what does it mean? Why the Torah needs to say yamin or small? Do not go right or left. You already told me that you're not allowed to disobey. Why do you need to use those words? So Rashi tells us a fascinating idea. He says, אפילו יאמר לך שעל שמאל שהוא ימין ועל ימין שהוא שמאל, even if he tells you something that doesn't make sense to you. He tells you that right is a left and left is right. He tells you to do something, you say, it doesn't make any sense. Why should I do that? It's exactly the opposite from what my mind dictates that I should do. Still, you must follow. Says Chachamim, say Rashi, כל שכן אם אמר לך על ימין ימין ושמאל ושמאל. Even more so, if he tells you must listen if he tells you something that makes sense to you. If he tells you that right is right and left is left, you must listen to him. That's a kol sheken, even more so. And I asked a question I didn't understand. What does it mean, kol sheken? The Torah comes and commands you to listen to Chachamim. If you listen, you have to listen even more so when you don't understand. If you understand, you listen because you understand. It should be the opposite. Rashi should have said you should listen when you understand. And even more so you must listen and obey when you don't understand. If you don't understand, that's much harder. Do it even then. That is more of a command. Why Rashi says just the opposite? It doesn't dictates that kol sheken correctly. And the answer is the following. Listen well. It's a very, very deep insight, and it's very, very correct. We have to do what Hashem commands us, not because we understand it, not because it's moral, not because it fits with our heart, not because that's the correct way of doing things. We have to do what Hashem commands us because He said so. Ashrei ha'am shekach lo. My Rosh Yeshiva used to say, Ashrei ha'am shekach lo, which means if somebody asks you, why do you do that? Kacha. Lama? Kacha. In Hebrew it's a term, kacha. That's the way it is. No answer. Why? That's the way it is. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo. That's the way it is. We have they say, Dorshei Reshumot say that in the Korbanot we say that same idea. מפני שהתורה אמרה, ככל זה עובר. למה אין מערבים בדבש? Give me a reason. למה? מפני שהתורה אמרה. The Torah says, you do it. Not because you understand. If you understand, you do it because you understand, not for other reasons. Same thing when Chachamim tell you something. When Chachamim tell you something, you have to do it, not because you understand it, because it makes sense, because they told you so. The Torah wants us to do, ועשית ככל אשר יורוך. So therefore, that's what it says over here. If you don't understand, the Torah wants you to do it because that's, Chachamim told you to do it, that's the correct thing to do. But even if you understand, kol sheken, when you understand, do it, but don't do it because you understand, but rather do it because they told you so. Many times you want to do it because it makes sense. Oh yeah, people ask me sometimes questions, I tell them the answers, they say, yeah, you know what, I thought about this myself, yeah, it makes sense. No, don't do it because it makes sense. Do it because that is the halakha, that is what we are commended by Chachamim and by the Torah. That is what the Torah wants to point out over here, and Rashi points out. Do those things if you understand. A kol sheken, do it when you don't understand. Kol sheken, do it when you understand. Just because Chachamim said so and not because you understand it. חזק ברוך.
Beautiful.